tonight. What do you think? I mean, what was the reason? What was behind that? What, in your mind, what were the keys to doing that to him?
I think we mixed in some, good fires, good double teams here and there. Didn't double every time. We kind of kept him off balance a little bit. Loon did a great job on him. DJ, when he was on him, did a great job. But AD's a great player. Just as well as he missed those shots, he can make them. But, you got to give those guys some credit. They stepped up to the challenge.
Draymond, I'm sure you remember the play where you weren't able to draw the foul, or draw the charge, against Julius Randle. You then proceeded to help force 3 turnovers. Well, what is that like to be able to channel that kind of energy and, use an unfortunate, call like that to, feel you along the way?
You just find energy in different things. You direct your energy towards different things. That's been a kind of a point of emphasis for me this year. To not waste off my energy arguing with the referees about the call. It's not going to change. So just turn the page to the next play and try to make something else happen. Was able to do a little bit of that, and it helped obviously keep the game in our favor.
Draymond, you guys started last year 5-3, and Steve said the first game seemed like game 41 last season. How has this season kind of been different for you guys?
It felt way different. It's more enjoyable. Last year I think we went into the season with the wrong mindset. Not that it wasn't the right mindset for the situation that we were in. It just wasn't a great mindset for us. Every team's going through an 82 game grind, and as opposed to embracing it, we kind of was like, here we are, let's get through it and get to the playoffs. And it felt that way. The mind is a powerful thing. You go into something thinking that way, and it takes over. And so, we came into this season a little bit different. We came into this season excited about the season, really looking forward to getting better each and every time we stepped on the floor. And I think for the most part we've done that. And it's a lot more enjoyable. We're embracing this process of getting better and trying to win a championship and not trying to skip the process and win a championship. Because, even after we won the championship, it was just like, like I told y'all before, I think it's been well documented. I didn't want to think about it. But usually when you win a championship, what you think about and enjoy is the process. There was no process to enjoy because we kind of skipped over it. And as cliche as it is, we flipped the switch. You watch us last year, we completely skipped over the process, and it got to the playoffs, and we flipped the switch. That's no fun. And so this year is a bit different, and I think it showed in our play.
What do you think of Jerebko 9 games into him being your teammate?
He's a very, very good player, very smart, just knows where to be, obviously can shoot the ball, but most importantly, he's a competitor, and he loved playing basketball, and I think that's always a great thing when you get guys who love playing basketball, and that shows in his energy and effort out there on the floor. He gets the ball, he breaks the defense down, he will drive, he'll kick, he takes the shots when it's there. And so it's, he's been really, really good for us, and it's been a joy to play with for sure.
Hey, Draymond, on the earlier point you just made about how different this season is compared to last season, that perspective that you have, as well as the fact that you're able to rest this offseason and heal some of the injuries, how do you think that's gone into play with your performances so far?
It was tough at first because I rested quite a bit, and then, to allow some things to heal, my shoulder and all of that stuff, and I needed that time off, and even more so physically, I needed it mentally, and so I took quite a bit of time off, but then, I got back into my groove, I went at it hard, and then all of a sudden, the tendinitis popped up in the preseason. And so the rhythm that I did build with the time that I used in the off season, I kind of lost in those 2 weeks of sitting. So the first few games for me were rough, frustrating, want to see something, want to go, and, it's just not there yet rhythm-wise. Wasn't there conditioning-wise. I think, over these last few games, my conditioning has started to get back to where it needs to be. My rhythm has started to get back to where it needs to be. I've gotten my legs under me like I need my legs under me. So, it's been different. It's been, it's more fun to play that way than trying to figure those things out. But, it came fairly quickly.
A lot of guys like to say that you get up for every game you play, no matter who you're playing. But is it realistic to think that? I mean, it seems like certain games against certain opponents, you're bound to just find more energy or more effort, more something inside you. I mean, tonight, for an example, you faced a team that you knew could, be pretty good, and a guy that you knew was really good. Is that something that you can accept, that some nights you're just going to have more than other nights?
Absolutely. That's the nature of this league. You would think even, like, it's so cliche to say, yeah, we're going to have that same energy for 82 games. It ain't happening. I don't care who you are. I think we get everyone's best shot just about. And there are still some times where we go out and face a team and you just see they don't got it. And yet we know everybody want to beat us. But that's just the nature of the game we play and the season and, the length of the season. There's just going to be times like that. But, tonight was kind of one of those nights for us where we just weren't quite clicking like we can. But yet you still have to find a way to win those games. And, we did some great things. We had, 39 assists and, but 17 turnovers. And so there's a lot of things that we can clean up the foul, and we can clean that up. And so that's just how it is. And when you can win those games, that's the most important thing.
Kevin said earlier that, looking at you as a former defensive player of the year, he's not surprised by these kind of performances anymore. And I mean, he won't even as far as say that you wake up like that. Is the defensive player of the year award something that you're chasing again?
Yeah,
this year?
I need that.
You need that. Huh?
I need that bad.
How bad?
Real bad. I made second team all defense last year. I'm pissed about that still, and I'll be pissed until I write that. So that's a serious goal of mine this year, and I'm on it every night. So yeah,
You wake up like that then?
absolutely. I'm pissed. Second team all defense. That's disrespectful. Oh man.
Draymond, Coach said when a game is grimy, you're at your best. Why is that when a game just isn't quite flowing, you're the best you can be for this team sometimes?
Because I love playing like that, number one. I grew up playing that way. That's just kind of the way it goes. But I think also, this team is, if it goes off a rhythm and flow, and that's important for us. But when that flow isn't there and that rhythm isn't there, like somebody got to step in and do the dirty work, and that is what I bring to this team. I do the dirty work. I do the little things. In a game like tonight where that rhythm isn't necessarily there, then those little things, they become even more important. And, that's, like I said, that's my role on this team. So in a game where they are more important because, it may not be as pretty as it usually is or, we want it to be, those things become more important and they, become, a little more under the microscope than maybe they usually are. Absolutely. That's when the game is fun for me.